we're going to be looking at the CieLab. We've looked at the A value and B value, which is the warm, warmest, cool, and coolest. And I thought what we do today is look at the L value, and whether you're using CieLab or not, it's kind of interesting to see what or know about what the L value is. The brightness value, and brightness goes from 0 to 99 or from 1 to 100, either one of those scales. And a cool or even cold or even the coldest colors can be bright. And so we're going to go over some of those examples today, and then Giovanni and Gabriel and Caroline, if she's there, Besnick, and the other brand ambassadors are going to kind of show you some of those colors. And I have them as well. So Latiza or Ethel, can you share the that spreadsheet, that first one, with the viewers, both on Zoom and on Facebook, so if they want to follow along, they can look at that?
Sure. You're referring to the CieLab up on the website, or just the listing of colors?
The one that I sent to the brand ambassadors at the beginning.
So it should be the listing of colors.
Yeah, it has the darkest, the brightest, and
Yeah.
the middle values, and the gray and black.
Okay, I can do that. There we go. It's up now, John, beginning with, on top we have the darkest.
Yeah, I think that's just for them if they want to look at it. Ethel, if you can just send it to them, email it to them, or paste it.
Okay, I
That
can,
way, if they want to look at it, they can look at it.
can
Some may
send
want to
it
do
in the
that.
chat.
Okay, yeah, in the chat, please. Okay, so let's look at some of the darkest colors. And usually many people, probably not many of you because you're well versed in colors, but would think of blacks and grays, etc., as being the darkest, and they're not necessarily, that's not necessarily accurate. In fact, the darkest color that we have, make sure I have these in order, is going to be indigo. You might think, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's lamp black. It's actually indigo is the darkest color that we have. And I'm trying to find it here. I don't have the, so I picked Indanthrone blue. So indigo is the darkest. So maybe Giovanni or Gabriel can show that. The next one is going to be the Indanthrone blue. So indigo has a light value of 27. And Indanthrone blue has a L value or light value of 28. So it's and it's just how much light is refracted from it, and also how much of the substrate that it covers, so it doesn't let a lot of light come back. So then we'll also look at the Prussian green. Is that right? Prussian green is a 33, so it's also a very dark color. We'll look at the naphthalene maroon. That's a 36. Quinacridone violet, which is a 37. And the Bordeaux. No, sorry, some of these colors are in the wrong place. So we'll look at the Indanthrone blue, the Prussian green, the naphthalene maroon, and the quinacridone violet. And as Gabriel, Giovanni, Besnick, you can look with any in that group. And if you have any in that group and you want to show those, that's fine. So the Mayan dark blue, for example, or you can show those. Okay. So let's start with these. And these are the darkest colors. Hello, Buffy. Hello, Susie. Hello, Helena. So Catherine and I are gonna be in San Diego next month. We're gonna see,
Pastor Z.
yeah, see Joseph.
And Lisa Wayne.
That would be awesome.
Two of our brand ambassadors visited Joseph's studio 2 days ago in Melbourne.
I saw your pictures, Caroline. They were beautiful. It was neat to see him.
It was amazing they got in to see him at the right time. They were only, Joseph and Lisa were only just back from China.
I was telling everybody, so this is Caroline. I don't know if you could see her picture, but this is Caroline talking. And I saw your studio and I was telling everybody, wow, that is just an awesome studio.
Lots of creative space helps with the creative mind.
Yeah, mine's probably just the opposite. I think it's because I have too many projects going on. So it's like they kind of, at some point, they overlap each other, which is all right when you have 1 or 2 projects, but probably not when you have 6 or 7 projects.
Yeah, the bigger the space, the more the projects. You're absolutely correct. There's all neat little piles of what I'm doing where, all the different things.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because during COVID, I worked out of my house, and so almost everything was at the kitchen table. My kitchen table rug would attest to that. It was destroyed. But here at the company, I have 9 rooms, and you can have a lot of stuff going in, a lot of different things going on in 9 different rooms. Oh, I should show you this as I'm doing it. Oh. So this is the in Danthrone blue, the darkest color we have in Danthrone blue. And that's because how much light is refracted and also how much of the white is covered. He does a fantastic job at both of those. And Gabriel had asked a really good question. Does that have anything to do with the density of the pigment? And it's irregardless of the density of the pigment. It's not about how the pigment weighs, whether it's a heavy pigment or light pigment. It's how much they can cover each other and also not let light through, right? And how much light can bounce back. So all of those variables. This next one is Naphthalmide maroon. I used to have the hardest time saying that word maroon, and then Giovanni, who's on right now, said just think of maroon 5 before you say it, and you'll get it right every time. Otherwise, it was just like a major tongue twister. So there's the maroon. Hello, Agnes. Hello, Susie from Oregon. This one, so beautiful. Also, I was telling the group before, when the chemist presents these to the photophotometer, he's measuring out the weight of the drops of water. So we have scales that they have covers because even air can change the weight, and he can actually weigh drops of water. So these are always 1 to 10. We'll part paint by weight, and then he'll do 10 parts of distilled water by weight. So that's the ratio. And then he'll present those to the machine. And I say that because what you may see can change, because not everybody I don't have those machines at home. So it can change a little bit if you're trying to do the same type of test. Okay. And this one is, which one's this one, Besnick? What do you think it is? I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're muted.
Sorry, John, I was muted. I said I don't recognize. Maybe if it's spotted, maybe I will recognize.
It's Bordeaux.
Oh, Bordeaux. Very beautiful color.
Yeah, it's a pretty color. So right here, the indanthrone is the darkest second darkest of all the colors we have, with an L value of 28. The darkest color we have is indigo. And then this right here is the Prussian green. Prussian green has an L value of 33. So think of grays being somewhere from 47, 40, 45 to 47. These right here, this right here is a 33. And then this one right here is methamide maroon, which is a 36. This one is the quinacridone violet. Actually, this is the quinacridone violet, and it's 37. And this is the Bordeaux, and it's a 38.
John,
Yes.
when it's scanning how much light is coming back, does the colour of the paper make any difference? Because with watercolour paper, it's just off-white, isn't it? But you can get extra white paper. Would that make a difference to the scanning of what colour it is?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So that's why we use the Lana Aquarelle, and we buy it by the pallet. We've used it for 30 plus years, probably 30, 35 years. So we use the same weight, same color all the time. So absolutely, the answer to that question is yes.
And is that paper that off-white, or is it extra white?
No, it's kind of off-white. It's not bright white. And actually what we present to the machine is, and I can bring it next time to show you, it almost looks like photographic film.
Right.
So I can bring it and show it to you next time.
Mm.
So quick and dirties between colors to show there's no color shift. We'll use the Lana Aquarelle. We keep the test from every single one we've ever done. We have piles, so sometimes I show you the 200 plus different drawdowns, and you see all the different colors. We have sometimes that many just of one color. And because we'll look at the last time we do it and we have the reading of it, we'll do the new one and we'll have the two match. That way we know there's no color shift.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Pleasure. Okay, so those are those 5 colors. We put those up here. And so the next ones I wanted to show you were the brightest colors. And we'll start with buff titanium. There are colors which are brighter. For example, Chinese white is a 97. It's almost like you can't get more than that. So we'll look at buff titanium. And next one I have is Hansa yellow medium. All the yellows would fall up in this high category, but you know, I picked all the yellows. It's hard for this machine to kind of show you the differences. So I tried the ones that were a little bit different than each other. This one's fuchsia. I'm not going to do fuchsia because I'm going to put mica in my water if I do that. This is CAD yellow light. I have 2 left. I'm going to show you the titanium white. And I'll move this over so you can see it. And so for watercolors, that's one of the, I think it's one of them, it's just a beautiful medium. And it's a beautiful medium, I think takes a lifetime to master. When I see Besnick and Giovanni and the brand ambassadors and how they paint, I'm always amazed at what they can do and how they can do it. But it's one of those mediums that it changes by how much water you use or don't use, what brush you use or don't use, what paper you use or don't use. There's just so many variables. And this was just to show you, for those that have asked, you know, how do I know what is cold or warm or warmest? And that way you could look at quadrants. So you know in that quadrant, here's where those colors fall. At some point, we'll have, I just went to the programmers, we'll have the CieLab up and active. So you can actually see in reference from one color to another color, which is warmer. And that's what this tool can show. It can show you actually which one's brighter. So if you want that level, you can actually get that level here. So this is the buff titanium.
John,
Yes.
does the machine consider white to be a colour, a discernible colour?
So color, it will give white a value.
Right. And is Chinese white the nearest that it considers to be a pure white?
Well, I would say it does not consider that, because when we look at it, no, I would say it doesn't consider that.
No.
So the machine really, it's this non-thinking entity and can certainly help plot things, but nothing's as beautiful as your eyes and the way you see color. The machine doesn't care about that. It just says, here's given the
Pure
fact
maths,
that I have,
isn't it?
here's where I plot it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to think. That's why I think humans win that. Even with artificial intelligence, there's nothing, in my opinion, that ever outdoes the human mind.
That's what we're coming on to with regards to that, because last week we were talking about whether human eye is as good as a machine. And you just can't beat a human eye or brain put together. So AI is never going to be as good as a human eye.
There's a lot of things behind the human eye. One, it's the human eye is kind of neat when I love photography. The human eye can keep everything in focus all at once. We can see what's in focus, what's far away in focus. It's just, it's magnificent. Don't know if they'll get there, but right now it's absolutely magnificent. This right here is titanium white. So let me tell you the values of these right here. The first one is buff titanium. And buff titanium has an L value, light value of 88. So it's quite bright. Get back there. There we go. The next one is the Hansa yellow medium. Hansa yellow medium also is 88. So 88, 88. The next one is chrome cadmium yellow medium, 88. So 88, 88, 88. This one here that looks invisible, you can see the little bit of whiteness to it. This is the titanium white. Titanium white is 96. So titanium white is lower than these three right here in brightness. Okay.
Hey, John,
Yes.
and other people here who are, in my case, I'm 69, about to turn 70. You know, cataracts. I don't have that problem to a high degree yet, but has anyone here had that surgery and have been able to see the difference between colors, you know, pre-cataract surgery and after? I'm just curious because I'm sure that'll happen someday. You know, it's coming. But
I
Yeah.
pushed my doctor into giving me cataract surgery because they said they weren't ready. And I said, I'm an artist. I can't tell the difference between blue, black, and brown. And
wow.
they did it. And my God, the difference was unbelievable. My
okay.
mother, when she had hers done many years ago, she was living in Florida and she said, I cannot believe how bright my wardrobe was.
Oh my goodness.
So there
Wow.
is a difference and it also depends on how thick the cataract is.
Yeah. I've been
But I've
curious
had
about
two
that.
experiences of it being really drastic.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
John, I'm sure you're aware there's also a phenomenon that humans actually see different quantity of color. So I might see 1 million colors and somebody else might see 2 million colors.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
It's
Yeah.
quite fascinating. And that's when you see people seeing the difference in a painting of how much they take in detail because they don't necessarily see as many colors as the one standing next to them.
So for the people that I talked to artists and right away they can see the difference between the two blues, the ultramarine and the French. Would they have more or less?
More.
I think we're trained to see the difference because we're looking at it all the time. But in general, this is actually what I'm talking about is your physical ability to see it versus your trained ability to see it.
Oh. Very cool. Well, that makes sense to me because you watch the people that test perfumes and, you know, they have just an amazing ability, and those that can taste wine. I mean, I can't tell the difference. I can say, well, this is oak and da-da-da. It's like, wow, that's, so I guess there's just countless gifts. So this is the last of it. This is the azo yellow. This will be the azo yellow. So Agnes is on the Facebook side today, and Agnes will be the artist tomorrow. Agnes is from Belgium.
Hi, Agnes.
She's an amazing artist, does the most beautiful portraits.
Agnes, tomorrow we will do a portrait or what?
Agnes is in the Facebook chat, Vesnik.
Oh, sorry.
So this is azo yellow. Agnes is saying hi. And this is the fuchsite, green fuchsite. Has Angela and everyone gone home now? Or are they still
Yes,
in?
Angela is in a plane as we speak on her way to Dubai. And then she's going to drop in on George in Greece to see their event.
That's
And
wonderful.
Nicholas left yesterday, and Nicholas will be now in Korea. So my wonderful experience of having some of our brand ambassadors visit me here in Australia has come to an end, and they've moved on to new countries, and they're a very exciting journey ahead of them.
Isn't that neat? Okay, so now we're going to kind of look at these are going to be, if I don't get that in my, are going to be some of the grays and the blacks. So kind of in the middle, I'll give you the numbers for each one so you can kind of see. And so it's out of it's
From yesterday?
I'm sorry. Also, Agnes says she will do a portrait. So tomorrow she'll do a portrait. And she's hoping it will go well. And I'm sure it will go well. I'm always amazed on those that artists can actually finish a painting, because usually it's what concept, maybe it's eyes, maybe it's skin, but then to finish the whole thing on top of that, you guys are just amazing. Okay, so first one we're going to have is Carmen. I like Carmen. I don't know from a practical standpoint how you would use it, but I just love it. So here in Seattle outside, it's raining and it's gray, and to look at really super nice colors is just, it's warming. Must be the same way for you, Belle, down there south of us.
Right now, the sun is out brilliantly to the point where I've had to close my drapes so I can
Oh
see
my
the
gosh.
computer screen. Enjoy the rain. Enjoy the rain.
UK weather report. We just jumped into winter. We've bypassed autumn.
Yeah, your weather is very, very similar to ours. Very
Yeah.
similar.
Gone real cold now. I've even got my mittens out now.
Oh, we're not cold yet. I mean, we're like, what is it outside? I think it's like 60 degrees.
Oh,
So still pretty warm.
And we've got the opposite in Australia. We've got summer instead of spring. We're going to have 29 degrees in Canberra on the 1st of October on Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really, really warm for spring.
Yeah. So I looked up Tucson yesterday. Tucson's in Arizona, and they were just north of 100 degrees.
wow.
So the weather's just strange.
Here is also very sunny, huh? For autumn. In Kosovo, it's too sunny.
Too sunny?
Yeah, it's still warm.
What color is that one, John?
This is permanent red. So
Uh-huh.
this is Carmen. This
Mm.
one is phthalo green blue shade. This is graphite gray. And this one's permanent red. And then I'll do the last two and I'll tell you the numbers of them.
It's really interesting about the graphite grey because genuine graphite, if you look at a stick of it, it's very reflective.
Yeah, this is synthetic.
Yeah.
What about this one, John, that you already did? Is it bedrock?
This one here?
Yeah.
This right here is Piemontite,
Oh, okay, Piemontite.
permanent red Piemontite.
The Piemontite looks more brown on my computer screen compared to, it's a slightly more red when you use it.
Yes. What do you think that one is? A little hard to see it. What do you think that one is?
Looks like lunar black, no? There's so much granulation.
Ah, I think on the screen it does. This is ivory black.
I've
So
got
as this dries, sometimes a little hard to see on the screen, you would see this would be kind of a yellowish
mm,
here. And so
I've
it
got
gives
more
that,
glow to
it gives that warmth to it. But yeah, on the screen,
John, does the staining affect the staining colors because it marks the paper so much more quickly and stays there? Does that affect the light refraction?
it's really how much is refracted back, and the staining would be the staining would be how much the pigment can hold on or go under the weave of the paper and hold on. Blah, 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 blah. I think all those are kind of a little bit of factors because it can get under the weave and not let go and overlap.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. Was it the fact that they were actually able to get into the fiber and hold on would cause less chance of light being able to penetrate?
So it's going to be how much it can cover the substrate underneath and how much the pigment will refract. So it's a combination of variables. And I think they all, to some extent, they all matter.
John, I'm sorry.
So what I want to show real quick is, just for you, Besnick, this is lunar black, and this is the ivory. And you see right now,
Oh, yeah, it's totally
getting
different.
that
Yeah.
it's getting that beautiful kind of tone coming to the ivory,
Mm,
whereas the lunar black is beautiful. But yeah, both granulating.
Yeah, to me, it just seemed because of beautiful granulation that they had ivory black, so I thought it might be lunar black.
Yeah, I think when I
But
first
now-
lay it down,
Yeah.
it's they're very similar when I first lay it down, but it's kind of like the Cascade green. As it dries, it makes
Yeah.
that shift. And now you can kind of see that warming shift inside of here on the ivory. Okay, so that's permanent red, permanent red. And the permanent red is a 47. The phthalo green is a 46. So this one is brighter than this one. The next one is our graphite gray. And the graphite gray is a 45. So they're all brighter than this one. The permanent red is a 47, so kind of equal to these over here. The Piemontite is a 47, same range. And then here we have the ivory. Where's that here? Ivory black, which is 47. Ivory black. And the lunar black wasn't on my sheet, but I have it anyway. It was a mispick. So lunar black is a 65. So these are all in the 40s. Lunar black is a 65. You say, well, why would that be a 65? It's kind of the same thing that we've been talking about, kind of what Carolyn just talked about as well. You can see how much space there is here because the particles move away from each other. And you're not only getting a reflective material, but you're also seeing through the paper, which is then coming back to you. That's why it has a higher L value, which is when we first started. We started with the indanthrone, and the indanthrone really covers everything. It doesn't leave any of this white space. See kind of the white space in here, and this doesn't have any of it. So it has a lower L value. It's darker than this. So it's not about something being black and black is darker than blue. It's really, what does the particle do and how does the particle behave?
Hey, John, there's a question in Facebook, a really good question. She said, so Carol said, is the photometer reading taken when pigment is still wet or when it is dry?
When it's dry.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
John,
Yes.
those are directly out of the tube paints that you've just done, aren't they? But have you ever tried finding like an ultimate black by mixing any colours and finding out what is the least light letting out colour?
Oh, we could get from one of the pigment houses, for example, we could get the darkest black ever produced. I mean, we could get that. We've tested that. And so we could get something that's really off the chart, but we wouldn't bring it out as necessarily something to paint with. It doesn't really offer more than some of the other blacks.
Right.
So, yeah, the chemists can play in the laboratory, and they've tested, super, super dark and super, super bright. I mean, the brightest of all of them are going to be the luminescence. You pick any luminescent, it's going to go to the top because that mica, they're so loaded with mica. They're so bright.
Do I assume with the dark colours that they are a mixture of colours that gets the darkest?
Perhaps like McCracken black concept.
No, McCracken's going to be in the middle. So McCracken black, I printed it out for you because I think somebody was going to ask about that. You guys are really good. And all these values, by the way, are on the site. So you can actually look them up there in CieLab, and it says CieLab values. So you can actually sort by this. So McCracken black is a 44. So it's 5 different pigments, but it's not by any means bright. When you say, 1 to 100, it's a 44. So there's many things brighter than McCracken black. In fact, Quinn Fuchsia is also a 44. Permanent Lutheran Crimson is a 44. Deep Scarlet is a 44. Van Dyke Brown is a 44. Those are all in the same category as McCracken black.
So when these are tested, is it just one glaze that you're doing and then testing?
We always do a 1 to 10 ratio. All the time, for all of our drawdowns, for all of our tests. So it's 1 part paint. It's one part paint to 10 parts of water.
Hey, John.
Yes. So it could be 2 drops. If they needed 2 drops, they would just double it. So it's that ratio. It's always a 1 to 10 ratio. Yes. Yes, Gabriel.
I noticed something. I grabbed just some random colors here off the list, and I've got 3 colors that are out of the dark section. I have Mayan dark blue, permanent violet, and perylene green. And I noticed that the colors that are in the dark section, rare, they are non-granulating colors. They're also semi-opaque or semi-transparent. And then it wasn't until I got to the bright list that you have, then we start to see a couple that start to granulate and that go back to transparency. So I found that very useful to do this exercise because I know that I like granulation in my landscape paintings. And when I spritzed this, I didn't get much granulation. So what I'm saying is normally when I would spritz, I would be able to reclaim some of the topped textures. So the paper that I'm using right now is it's a cold press paper that's almost like a rough texture, and it's a bright white. And so, but yeah, I think this is a really good thing to know, that I would not use this green if I wanted to reclaim some whites, because it's a staining color of a number 3. And this permanent violet, it also is a staining 3. And the Mayan dark blue is at a 2 staining. So, but I just thought it was interesting that the colors from the dark list do not granulate.
So Melissa-
Gabriel, what's that color next to perylene green, that pink color?
This,
Yeah.
yes, I was playing. So this is a mixture of permanent violet with Mayan. So the Mayan, and then over here we've got permanent violet with perylene green. And then over here we've got Aurelian with Mayan dark blue. So
Thank you. Those are beautiful.
Gabriel, Buffy wants to know what's your paper today.
this is Kilimanjaro, possibly, or some kind of, oh no, it's Fabriano Artistico. And it's their bright white cold press.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting me share. Back to you, John.
So a lot of these colors, for example, deep sap green is on the darkest. Because deep sap green is a value of 33. And deep sap green is Prussian blue, iridite yellow, and quinacridone gold. So it's just a tool. It becomes another tool for you to be able to use and to play with. So this right here is going to be the Imperial Purple. And Undersea Green. So I kind of think of it as I go with my nephew to watch baseball, and I know very little about baseball. He knows all the statistics of all the people that are going to play. And I can enjoy the game as much as he can enjoy the game. And he can enjoy the game even from another deeper level, because he can say, knowing that Besnick's going to be up next, and Besnick normally does this, that's going to allow the person on second base to run to third base and X amount of people to go home. I just enjoy the game, and I don't know any of that. So what presenting you is, if you want to know to that detail, there's tools here that allow you to play that game if you want. And if it doesn't matter, then it's just a matter of liking the colors that you like. So you have both. I'm gonna do my water out real quick.
What is the first color that you put down that we didn't really see?
The first color is going to be Imperial Purple. And the second color is Undersea Green. So this is the Imperial Purple, and this is the Undersea Green. Really, it's really pretty. It's a pretty color. The next one is Venetian Red. Venetian Red.
They're gorgeous next to each other.
And this is Phthalo Blue. And this is the green shade. God, the phalos are just so bright. I remember probably several months ago when Linda Dahl was giving her presentation, and she used so many of the phalos, and they're highly staining. And she just said she loves to just beat them up and scrub them and do all types of stuff to them. It's like, wow, it's pretty awesome. They're just so bright. This is the ultramarine turquoise. Yeah, they make it's amazing how, for me anyway, and I think for many people, color can just make you feel so good. It's interesting because if you go anyway here I saw it in the UK, it's probably everywhere. I saw it in the UK and I see it at all over here in Washington. If you go underground in buildings, each floor has a different color. And it's amazing how the number and the color, you may forget the number while you're shopping somewhere, but you remember I'm on the blue section. But to have the number and a color associated with each other just makes it slam on that I don't get lost. Sometimes I go to the wrong building, but normally I'll find my way back to my car. So, but it's neat how color just ties into that. And I was at the Boeing Museum of Flight they have here in Seattle. And they had a whole area where they talked about why they paint or used to paint the insides of the military planes green. And it was a calming effect for the guys that were in the planes for such a long period of time. There was no, it just helped. And it could.
John,
Ah, you were there. That's right. Yeah,
I
Giovanni.
remember.
Yeah. So this is Garnet Genuine. This is the Ultramarine Turquoise. Phthalo Blue, green shade, it's just unbelievable how bright this is right here. This is the Venetian Red, the Undersea Green, and the Imperial Purple.
I'm sorry, what was the last one? Or actually,
This is the
That-
Carol
that-
purple,
no, the other end. Other end.
garnet genuine.
Thank you.
Yep. And so these are the ones that are kind of in the middle. These are the 48s to 50. And so for the 48 to 50s, that's this row right here. So a lot of the McCrackens, for example, are lower than this, so not as bright as these. And then we have the darkest. Here, these are the darkest.
John,
Going to the
are the
brightest.
darkest colors generally a one color pigment?
No,
No, okay.
no. For example, one of the darkest is, let's see what I gave here as example. Deep sap green is darkest, and deep sap green is actually Prussian blue, airlight yellow, and quinacridone gold.
Okay.
So dark to brighter to the mids. They're right here, the mids. John's fingerprints everywhere. Oh, is that yours, Giovanni? Heather, can we see Giovanni's?
Sure.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Lunar black and Prussian green.
yeah, it's beautiful mixing inside the granulation, and I love this mix Menexer and ultramarine turquoise for creating this beautiful gray. It's very interesting connection.
Very pretty, very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
And this is the last garnet with ultramarine turquoise for the difference, create a gray.
Giovanni, when you put the tube color into the pan, how long does it take for you to, how long does it take for that to dry?
It's very, very quick.
Yeah, that's nice. Got that garnet really super bright.
Yeah, yeah. This garnet is a little different because it created this this gray with the ultramarine turquoise is a little cool, and with natural red is a little red. It's an interesting connection for this.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
John,
Yes.
I've got an answer to you with regards to how long it takes for a tube paint poured into a pan. Generally speaking, my experience is 2 to 3 days to be surface dry and about a week for it to be fully dry and usable.
Very nice. Thank you, Ian. For when we make, so when we do the pans in pan production, it probably takes us about 6 weeks, 6 to 8
Wow.
weeks. Because we do a pour, let it dry, do a pour, let it dry, do a pour, let it dry. But I'm glad that it's nice watching you guys do that and how fast it re-wet. So if, you know, that's why we have the empty pans. If you want to do that with your tubes, you can always do it with your tubes. Ashley, how about you? Were you able to paint today?
Oh yeah, so many colors. Yep, lots of colors. I'm mostly mixing to see. So I was thinking about mixing like the really darks. So here we've got Indian Throne Blue and Carmine. You said Carmine, Carmen, I don't know how to say it. I love mixing that color as a primary red. So here it is. when it's wet, it's really vibrant red. But anytime you take like a carmine and like a yellow, this is cadmium yellow light, you get kind of more of a red tone. And then, oh my gosh. And then I mixed it really thickly with that indanthrone and got kind of some cool purple colors.
Very cool.
And then made a fun brown with garnet genuine and undersea green. That's really pretty.
Boy, I like that. Ultramarine. So that's just the ultramarine turquoise, no mix.
Yeah, by itself. I just took some water and I don't know what I'm calling this, but I just kind of take my fingers and sprinkle it.
Very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Yep, thank you. And then Gabriel did his, let's see. Giovanni. And Brenda, are you painting or no painting?
No, I'm just listening and watching today.
Thank you, Brenda. Brenda does some awesome mixes. Okay, I'm gonna try to look. And Gabriel, what's the last one of yours? That last color that you have mixed there.
This one,
Let me see you. Yeah,
this color right here was Aurelian with Mayan dark blue. And yeah, it's quite lovely.
Yeah.
I definitely, what I learned today is if I need to find some of these darker colors,
yeah,
I could probably kill the white of the page a lot quicker. For example, like this painting I just did yesterday, if I wanted this water, maybe just a little more semi transparent, maybe I would go with the Mayan blue next time. Because it took quite a few layers of blue in this painting with this boat. And so I think this exercise is very helpful, getting to know the how this paint is working.
fantastic. Thank you for showing that.
Gabriel.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right. So thank you all for joining today. I like it. I'm really happy that the brand ambassador is able to show you their colors. Would love to see any of you showing any of your colors. Just raise your hand. We'll put the camera on you. But I think I enjoy learning. So if you have questions, I'd like to get those so I can think about them and give responses back to you. And if there's something you want to see that you haven't seen, then let me know, please. So thank you all for joining. Tomorrow is Agnes, and Agnes will be doing a portrait. So I hope you can join tomorrow. It was great seeing all of you, and look forward to seeing you next time or tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
It was informative. Thank you.
You're so welcome.